Today marks World Suicide Prevention Day, and Canadians across the country are gathering to remember and celebrate the lives of lost loved ones. Each year, 4,500 people lose their lives to suicide in Canada. That is 12 people every day. For a deeper understanding of the conversation, we're joined this morning by Andrew Perez. He's the Interim Executive Director of the Canadian Association of Suicide Prevention. Good morning and welcome.
Great to be here. 4,500
Canadians a year, and behind that is the pain and the loss of many, many more people, family and friends. Why are suicide rates so high here in this country, and how do we compare to other industrialized countries?
Yes, Canada actually has relatively high suicide rates when compared to other OECD countries. We have faced, an intersectional challenges Canadians have faced over recent years. We went through a global pandemic, the affordability crisis, homelessness, substance use, broader mental health challenges. And we know that groups such as Indigenous peoples, First Nations, Métis, Inuit have among the highest suicide rates in the world, as well as younger Canadians. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among young Canadians, and also queer and trans people. This is our 40th year as an association, the Canadian Association for Suicide Prevention, and we're working hard every day of the year to change the narrative on suicide, which is this year's theme for World Suicide Prevention Day.
You've highlighted some of the groups that stand out as having numbers that exceed what is the average. But I want to talk about our First Nations communities. That stat that you just gave me about the Inuit having the highest suicide rates in the world is shocking. Where are these communities struggling, and what are the plans to try and combat that?
Yeah, they have among the highest rates in the world. Mm-hmm. It's why we're calling for a national suicide prevention strategy. This is something that the Canadian Association for Suicide Prevention has been calling for decades.
And can I ask you, Andrew, how would a national program differ from what's being done locally now? How does it improve things?
So what we've had in place in Canada for decades is a piecemeal approach on suicide prevention. We've had different frameworks and different funding. In fact, we made a lot of progress recently, a couple years ago, with the 988 Suicide Crisis Helpline. But we don't have a national strategy in place that's tied to clear funding, objectives, and metrics. And we know that other countries in the world, countries like Finland and Scotland, that had very, very high rates of suicide, when they implemented national strategies, they saw those rates of suicide decline by double digits. There's no reason why we can't do that in Canada. We need the political will. So we're urging the federal government, in working with civil society organizations, to urge Ottawa. There's a budget coming down next week, or next month rather. We're urging the Mark Carney government to invest $60 million in a national suicide prevention strategy.
Alex, we have a short amount of time left, but I know it's important to you. After 40 years, you guys are looking to shift the conversation. Where do you want it to go?
Well, we want to center conversations around suicide prevention around those who have lived and living experience, those who have been impacted by suicide loss, by suicidal ideation. It's important that we center those conversations and that we also work with our Indigenous communities and understand the work that we have to do around Indigenous reconciliation. I just asked, this evening at 8 p.m., regardless of the time zone that you're in, that there'll be a remote candlelight vigil. So we're urging Canadians to light a flame to remember those impacted and lost by suicide.
Very powerful statement. 8 p.m. across the country. Andrew, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.